If there's one way to ensure that your movie will be successful, it's making it relatable for the younger population. Nowadays, there is no better way to do this than by representing the diversity present in modern society. Knives Out 2 has already revealed Blanc to be gay, and the next movie will explore it further. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Rian Johnson talking about Detective Blanc's sexuality, so stay tuned. First and foremost, Rian Johnson reveals that Detective Benoit Blanc is gay. Rian Johnson has made a bit of a name for himself as the guy to break boundaries, like he did it with The Last Jedi, and now he's done it with Knives Out 2. Of course, we're talking about the bombshell reveal about Detective Blanc's sexuality. The director talked about the movie before it was released on November 23rd, and revealed that Detective Blanc was gay. The news added a new factor to attract young audiences to the movie series. After all, representation is extremely important, and the only type of entertainment making it nowadays is the one that clearly shows the diversity of our society. Rian Johnson talked in detail about the detective's sexuality and how this affected the movie's plotline and his character. He wanted to make sure people knew that this wasn't just a publicity stunt and that the representation was genuine. Nowadays, people use the LGBTQ community to get views because it's common knowledge that young people are attracted to such content, either because they want to watch something they relate to or they want to support the community. This publicity stunt has been famously dubbed queer baiting. Up next, Blanc's sexuality holds meaning. Now, while queer baiting has kinda become a trend in modern media, Knives Out 2 is actually very different. Rian said that Blanc's sexuality was important to the story, but the whole plot didn't revolve around it, though he did say that it will play a big part in who the detective is as a person, especially in future stories. This was a clear reference to a third Knives Out movie. Rian mentioned that the revelation of Blanc's sexuality was pretty explicit. Of course, that didn't mean the movies were going to focus on only that. Still, exploring this thoroughly and baking it into the genre is an incredible way to reach their aim, that is, representation, and at the same time, avoid making it the main focus of the plot. Following up, Rian opens up about the movie. The filmmaker mentioned that most of the time it will come to play when the focus of the plot pans away from all the drama and suspects and to a more personal side of the story. Rian also discussed all the spoilers that were revealed prior to the official release of the movie. He said that he understood that it was hard to keep secrets from the internet. After all, the perception that everything leaks online didn't come from nowhere, and honestly, it's pretty true. Still, he said that for someone who just wanted to enjoy the movie, maintaining these surprises was an important part of the experience. There aren't many people out there who watch a movie despite knowing everything that happens in it. Rian also talked about the box office of the film and the potential heights it could reach. He said that he hoped that the first week in the theaters would be very successful. It's only been a few days since the release and it's already doing pretty good. Who knows what will happen by the end of the week? Rian said that he wasn't only aiming for the movie to be successful in the first week. He wanted it to be an extremely memorable experience for the viewers and something they could watch again and again. The type where they go home for Christmas and tell their family how much of an incredible movie it was as they put it on. Coming up, Daniel Craig returns to the iconic role. The movie industry is impressive, no doubt, but with all the other genres getting most of the focus, viewers started to feel a distinct lack of murder mystery movies. Well, at least those that were good enough. So, of course, Rian Johnson came to the rescue. In 2019, the filmmaker teamed up with the one and only Daniel Craig and also recruited the help of other A-list Hollywood actors to make what can be easily considered to be one of the biggest murder mystery films ever. The movie was met with enthusiastic reviews, and soon enough, a sequel sequel was on the way. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about. Or more specifically, the main character and his actor Daniel Craig. Does he sound familiar? Well, the majority of people know him from his role as James Bond. The movie series is considered to be one of the best action series ever and is extremely famous all over the world. And now that Ryan has had the chance to finally release Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, we get to see more of our favorite actor in yet another action-packed movie. Except this time, instead of James Bond, he's continued his role as Detective Benoit Blanc. Finally, Daniel Craig's hero, ready to shine in Knives Out 3. In this day and age, representation has become increasingly prevalent with television series and movies, as seen in large franchises like the DC and Marvel Cinematic Universe. This trend has continued in movies such as Knives Out 2, which makes use of the protagonist Detective Blanc's sexuality in his future character development. The first Knives Out film focused mostly on Daniel Craig and his co-stars attempting to solve a murder case and eventually arresting the culprit, Ransom Drysdale, played by Chris Evans. On the other hand, in the second film, Daniel dives into his own character rather than just focusing on the main plot. This allowed Detective Blanc's sexuality to come to light during the movie. As of now, the release date for Knives Out 3 is still unconfirmed, since there are a ton of details to work out for the remaining story once Rian Johnson wraps up his current project. Now, moving on to everything we know about Knives Out 3. First up, it is confirmed that Knives Out 3 will be made. Benoit Blanc's story was expanded upon in Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which will continue in the third installment in the franchise, Knives Out 3. Rian Johnson, the writer and director of Knives Out, has turned his 2019 film into a modern whodunit franchise. He even has a cast of Hollywood stars like Ed Norton, Janelle Monáe, Dave Bautista, and Kate Hudson. It is officially confirmed that Knives Out 3 will happen. This was part of the deal when back in 2020, Netflix purchased the Knives Out sequels after a bidding war. They struck a deal worth $450 million with Ryan and his producing partner Ron Bergman, which guaranteed at least 2 more Knives Out sequels for Netflix. What's more, Knives Out 3 might not be the last in the franchise, since both Ryan and Daniel Craig have said that they're open to more beyond that. Next up, the cast will be returning in Knives Out 3. Concerning the cast for the third part, the only actor confirmed to appear is Daniel Craig. One condition of Netflix's purchase of the sequels was Daniel's involvement in them, so it would take something major for him to back out from the role. The rest of the cast will probably be made up of entirely new names, just like the cast of Glass Onion was almost entirely different from the first film in 2019. There is a possibility that Hugh Grant may return in the next film, as he's got a cameo in Glass Onion as Blanc's partner, Philip. Glass Onion doesn't set up a sequel, similar to how Knives Out didn't set up Knives Out 2. The movies are made in a classic whodunit fashion and can act as standalone films. As such, Knives Out 3 will present a brand new mystery for Benoit Blanc to solve, probably a murder mystery. Ryan will have his work cut out for him to provide audiences with another mystery that feels clever, fresh, and surprising. Finally, the predicted release date for Knives Out 3. Knives Out 3 could also put more focus on Blanc's personal life, particularly if Grant returns. It was fleshed out a little in Glass Onion, leaving it ripe for further exploration. Another interesting thing to see will be how Knives Out 3 continues the series' examination of status and wealth after the first film portrayed old money and class, and the second film handled new tech bro money. Knives Out was released on the big screen in September 2019, and just over 3 years later, in November 2022, Glass Onion hit the theaters. But we've got to remember that this time frame was when the film industry was still reeling from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, resulting in the production not beginning until the middle of 2021. So after paying such a large sum of money, Netflix will probably want a shorter time between the sequels. Thankfully, Thankfully, the films are relatively quick to shoot. Not to mention, Ryan also wants Knives Out 3 to be his next movie, so if he's able to get a script and cast together over the next year or so, then a reasonable release date for the movie would be late 2024. That's a wrap for this video. Did you like Knives Out 2? Are you excited for the next movie? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.